Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are still at the r/nosleep subreddit and we are looking at a post submitted by Bill1. It says, the boss said never to look into the tanks at night. Tonight I did, and now I'm watching myself walk away. Alright, let's get down to it. I've been the night janitor at the aquarium for 6 months. It's the kind of job people take when they don't want to talk to anyone. I just mop the salt spray off the floor and wipe the oily fingerprints off the glass. The manager, a guy named Miller, who never looks at you in the eye, gave me one rule my first day. Once the main lights go out, do not look into the tanks. Keep your head down and finish your shift. He said it was about animal stress. He said the flashlight made the fish go blind or go crazy. I didn't care. I just wanted my paycheck. Last night, I was walking the reef hall. It's a long tunnel of glass with thousands of gallons of water on either side. Around 2 a.m. I was tired, my grip slipped, and my heavy ring of keys slid across the wet floor, hitting the base of the main tank with a loud clink. I groaned and knelt down to grab them. As my knuckles brushed against the bottom of the glass, I froze. The glass wasn't cold. It was hot. It felt like touching a radiator in the middle of winter. It was vibrating to a low, meaty drum that I could feel in my teeth. I shouldn't have looked up. I know I shouldn't have. But curiosity is a curse. I clicked on my flashlight and aimed in at the water. The light didn't bounce off the glass as usual. It seemed to be swallowed by a thick purple mist inside the tank. Corals didn't look like rocks anymore. It looked like piles of meat, wet meat, raw organs. It was the fish that made my blood run cold. There were hundreds of them. Usually, they dart around, but now they were all pinned against the glass. They were packed so tight, there was no space between them. Their bellies were pressed flat against the surface, and their eyes wide and unblinking. Eyes wide and unblinking were all fixed on a single spot, behind my left shoulder. I didn't turn around. I looked at the glass instead, using it as a mirror. In the reflection, the hallway behind me was brightly lit, even though I knew the lights were off. I saw myself. My reflection was standing there, holding my mop, perfectly upright, but I was still kneeling on the floor. The me in the glass turned its head slowly. It had my face, my uniform, even the coffee stain on my shirt, but its eyes were like fish. Eyes were like the fish, huge, dark, and hungry. It looked down at me, smiled, a mouth full of way too many teeth, and put a finger to its lips. Shh. It reached out of the reflection. I watched in horror as a hand that looked exactly like mine poked through the surface of the glass, as if the heavy acrylic had turned into water. It picked up my keys from the floor right next to my hand. I heard the jingle, a real physical jingle, in the air behind me. Then I heard my own voice coming from the hallway. "Don't worry," the thing said. "I'll finish the floors. You just stay in there." I felt a sudden massive pressure against my back. The glass. It didn't shatter. It rippled like thick, warm syrup. My body slid through it, lungs burning as heavy, metallic tasting water rushed into my throat. It trashed, I trashed, turning back to claw at the barrier, but it had already hardened. It was solid acrylic again, cold, clear, and absolute. On the other side of the glass, the me who had been mopping stood perfectly still. He looked exactly like a man who was ready to go home, hug my wife, and crawl into my bed. Then the hallway lights flickered on. I walked into the reef hall. He didn't look surprised. He didn't even look at the thing holding my keys. Instead, he walked straight up to the glass and looked me right in my wide, terrified eyes. He tapped a clipboard and said, and sighed, "I told you not to look, kid. Now the tank is over capacity again." Miller turned to the thing that looked like me. "You know the drill," he muttered. "The keys are in his locker. Don't forget to clock him out on your way out. His shift is done." The thing nodded, gave me one final shark-like grin, and walked towards the exit. Miller leaned in closer to the glass, his face inches from mine. "Don't worry. Don't bother screaming," he whispered. "The sound doesn't travel out. It travels in." He reached for the light switch. "Good night, number 402. Try to blend in. The sharks get hungry if you move too much." Click. The hallway went black. I was left in the dark, and I felt the first cold sandpaper fin brush against my leg. Alright guys, that's the end of the story, and if you like it, please express it in the comments down below. I'd love to see it, and please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.